So basically, a big welcome to get ready for Race Equality Week 2022. It's a 3 months to go countdown. Actually, it's 11 weeks. So it is going to arrive fast. I'm Javid Thomas, for those that don't know us, and co-founder of Race Equality Matters, along with the fantastic Raj Tulsiani of Green Park. I'm also the co-founder of the Collaboratory, which creates collaborations to tackle societal issues that matter the most. And that's how Race Equality Matters came along. And here today in the background are colleagues Nish Francis and Claire Watson. So thank you for their support. Thank you all for joining us. It's fantastic to have so much support here today. And we know people are still coming through the doors, which is brilliant. Today's session's going to be action-packed. It'll be dynamic, fast-paced. We're going to have a lot of opportunities for you to collaborate with each other and share tips and everything. And that's really important. We have lots to pack in, and we're looking to close by 6:30 as promised. Next slide, please. Before we start, I'd like to say a big thank you to our partners who are helping fund Race Equality Matters, especially Green Park, and our lifetime visionary partners, BT. So just to get us all warmed up in more ways than one, if we can just have a go at the poll. So in the room is 2/3 are ethnic minority or appropriate equivalent. I appreciate people use different names and terminology for that, but thank you for feeding that in. 20% are senior leaders, 25% HR, 40% D&I, but we've got 25% race network members and 15% race network leads, which is fantastic. Is Race Equality Organisations Diary 64% yes, 21% unsure. Did you participate last year? A third did last year. So hopefully we're going to have many more this year. How well do you think your organisation tackles race inequality? Question number 5. So we can see not enough or a little is about sort of like 50%. So about half, I think, not enough or a little. Fairly well and really well. It's getting slightly better, but not as much as I'm sure we all want to see and feel. Do you feel your leaders and manager are committed to tackle race inequality? And to be honest, every event, this is getting better. So I think when we started this last year, it might have been about close to 10 to 20%. We're now 76%, which is brilliant. So that's fantastic. But what we're finding, do you feel your leaders and manager are confident in talking about race? Not at all, not enough, or a little bit. So that's like about 70-odd%. And I think that's one of the challenges. People still not comfortable about talking about it, but we have to have these uncomfortable conversations. And due to limited time, so just seeing what you've said, we'll go for the Q&A at the end. So for those that may not been to one of our events before, Raj and I created Race Equality Matters as a response to what we call the moment last summer. And it's really important that when we look back in the future, we don't want to see that 2020 was another moment and we've missed it. We wanted to capture the energy of all of you and across the country and create Race Equality Matters movement. We wanted to turn this moment into a movement. And Race Equality Matters is not about more talking or PR gesturing. It's about solutions and meaningful action. By capturing and providing the voice of the community, we've been co-creating impactful concepts and solutions in collaboration with those with lived experience of race inequality. And that's absolutely the heart of everything we do. So all we are is a catalyst to help move organizations and individuals from conversations to meaningful action. And it's all about making a real impact. Next slide. One of the solutions we co-created was Race Equality Week and why we're here today. So we're just going to show a quick video to hopefully sum it up for those that might be new to this. Thank you, Nish. Thank you. And if anyone wants access for the video to share with colleagues to help in organizations, you're very welcome to that. And we'll send a link later for that. So we created Race Equality Week to be a catalyst for ongoing change. We didn't want like Black History Month, like a pop-up. You know, we have to keep it going. So that's why it's in February. Catalyst for ongoing change. Its key is to unite organizations and unite employees. We wanted to keep this kind of energy going. And also what we found, as you saw in the video, it does help focus senior leaders on keeping the energy going for tackling race inequality. Thank you. The inaugural Race Equality Week took place in February, early this year, with over 2,000 organizations involved, which was a great start. But to create the change we want, and we all need to see and feel, we need more organizations to get involved and drive this change across the length and breadth of the UK and even beyond. So we need all of you to be part of it and to tell others. So please do amplify this message. Remember, it always starts on the first Monday in February each year. So this one is going to be the 7th to 13th of February, but it's the first Monday every year. So easy way to remember it. Feedback from the first one clearly shows it makes an impact. So we want more organizations to get involved and make this impact. And one way we can do it is by being one of our Race Equality Spotlight organizations. So these are here are some of our early adopter Spotlight organizations. And we want to promote them by Race Equality Week. We have limited space. So if you want to be part of a sea of logos showing that your organization is involved, please let us know. We'll send you a link and information after. All we need to know in less than 100 words is, why is Race Equality Week important? What's your organization's plans? It doesn't have to be perfect, just the plans you might be doing, what your organization hopes to achieve as a result, and why it's important to move from talk to action. So the theme this year is sort of hashtag action, not just words. There's been enough talking, but not enough action. We'll also promote some short videos that you may want to share with us. If we could just share one that Amy sent to us. Thank you.
Race Equality Week is important as it helps us keep the focus on a problem that we can help solve. It gives employees from an ethnic background the confidence that their company's doing more and helping. And I think that organisations should get involved in Race Equality Weeks to show their employees that they're behind them, they support them, there's a plan and there's a future.
Thank you, Kelvin. So again, please use that that sort of like vehicle yourselves, but let us know, and we'll champion and amplify it on behalf of your colleagues. So there are 3 ways for your organization to get involved. Firstly, you can run your own activities, but please do do it in partnership with your race networks if you have it. But you must have the voice or the sort of check what you're doing if you're not part of a race network, to get the voice of ethnic minority colleagues involved in decision making on it. Secondly, you can join thought leadership events that are run by Race Equality Matters and others. So we'll be hosting, if we can go to the next slide, an opening and closing events. So we can all unite and sort of hear what each other's doing. And there are 2 theme topics which was chosen by you, our community. The first is tackling bias, recruitment, promotion, and progression. So we're not talking about the issue, we're sort of showing examples of organizations that are tackling it. And the other one is how to get senior leaders and middle managers buy-in. So these are the events that we got lined up. We will also be sharing external public events that fit in with the focus of Race Equality Week. So if you are running an open event, do let us know and we'd love to promote it. So all this will be on our website, so you can see a whole range of events going on. And here's some that were featured last year, or for this year, should I say. Next slide. The third way you can get involved is by implementing a Race Equality Matters solution, which includes the virtual badge, which you can download, sort of an image is sort of in the background, and then you can put your logos and messages on there. And again, you can use it for social media. The big promise, a solution that turns words into meaningful action. Safe space, which enables uncomfortable conversations and turns them into action. We also have tea break, which we'll cover in a sec, and my name is, which we will also introduce you to. So if we just go straight into tea break, For those that don't know, Network Rail have been successfully running this for a while, and we've co-created this solution with their Cultural Fusion network, so you can all access it for free. So we'd like to share a video just introducing this. Thank you, Nish.
The tea break provides the framework and opportunity for an organisation to hear the honest voice and feelings of its colleagues about race inequality. All employees are invited to join a 1-hour themed online discussion about an issue that matters. Individuals can remain anonymous, listen to others, or actively participate. It's freedom of choice. Benefits of the tea break include fosters inclusion, supports well-being, highlights issues for action, removes the barriers and the fear of talking about race, normalizes conversations on race, and builds understanding of the issues. You can also join the Race Equality Matters Tea Break community. We've set up a peer support network on Guild. Guild is a community app for professionals. It provides private, secure spaces for collaborative discussion. Guild is already helping over 20,000 people have conversations that matter. We also have a tea break guide, co-created by those with lived experiences of race inequality. This guide consists of 4 phases and 11 steps. This guide outlines the practical steps you can follow to set up and run a tea break.
Thank you. So the reason we're sharing this is because quite a lot of organizations said they're thinking of running a tea break during Race Equality Week. So we thought we share what a lot of people are saying. And it does enable and encourages brave conversations throughout an organization. It must be facilitated, so you have a kind of facilitator in it, using your own colleagues or to do it, that's fine, but you have someone facilitate the discussion. And you will hear the honest voice and thoughts of your colleagues from across the organization. So it's a dynamic, and you get a sense of how people are feeling at the time. And you can download a step-by-step how to do it right guide from our website. So there'll be a link in the chat, and it's step-by-step. So this has been co-created. Here's 11 steps you need to do to get it right. So, and again, that's free. So thank you for that. Next slide, please. You'll see here's a list of some topics in the guide, but we encourage you to do a survey amongst your own staff to look at external and internal topics for ideas and inspiration. So here's some that's come up recently, the people using the Yorkshire Cricket Club, the importance of getting someone's name right, code switching, microaggressions, unconscious bias training, does it work, etc. So here's just some. What we thought we'd just do, because we're not going to go into a breakout, if everyone could just go into the chat and maybe write 1 or 2 examples of topics that would be quite good to talk about in a tea break. And then what we will do is we'll share these with you all after the event. So it'll give you a whole sort of like menu of ideas. So if we could just go in the chat and put an example or a topic that you think will be a good thing, whether you may have done one and some that have landed quite well. So if I give us all, I would say just 20 seconds to put just maybe 1 line in the chat, that would be great. So management practice and their experiences coming up. Allyship, intersectionality. Allyship and intersectionality are very common, powerful ones that have gone down quite well. Talking about first experience of racism, white fragility, recruitment bias. That's fantastic. So again, what we'll do is we'll share this with everyone after the event, so you've got a reference point. It's also worth mentioning, as you saw in there, we've got something called the Guild, where people who are interested in the tea break, it's an online community, it's free for yourselves, where people are sharing ideas and tips. I think we've got at least 70 organizations involved in that at the moment. So again, we'll send you a link afterwards, and you can join the Guild. And the Guild have provided the facility to us for free for everyone. It's a bit like WhatsApp and LinkedIn, but it's a very ethical and no data shared, etc., or no adverts as well. Fantastic. So you can see, so collectively 70% of us have had our names mispronounced, and the impact it has. So and we have to manipulate some of this data, because it says obviously a third haven't had it affected, but as you see, the highest things, people feel disrespected is the highest one, and then feel not valued, important, and it goes, I guess, where we say organizations want people to feel included. If people are feeling disrespected and not valued, important, what message is that saying? Question number 3, if applicable, what's prevented you from sharing, or for asking people to pronounce your name correctly? A range there. So I didn't think it was important enough to raise. And next one down is concern about how they would react. So a range of things there. And then what would give you the confidence to ask someone is hearing leaders asking, so that's 40%, having someone I know speak up and correct them, 43%. So some big figures there. And again, we'll share these with yourselves afterwards. So thank you for feeding into that. Thank you. And I thought what we'll just do is we'll just show a quick little video just to sort of help bring this to life.
My name is Rihanna, and that is pronounced Rihanna phonetically. And the reason why I'm even saying that is because in the past, when people have got my name wrong, it can feel quite belittling, marginalising, and in all honesty, quite offensive, because you've not actually bothered to figure out how to pronounce my name. So Race Equality Matters have devised a new campaign called My Name Is, in order to help advance race equity. And this is a very simple solution that everyone can adopt in order to make the effort in pronunciations in people's names. There is so much value and power behind a person's name, so why not get it right? So my name is Rihanna.
Hi, my name's Fazana Hakim. It's a Persian name Fazana means knight or warrior. Hakim means doctor. As a child, as I grew up, every year at school I would dread the register at the beginning of the year because the teacher wouldn't be able to pronounce my name, which was very, very embarrassing, and I grew to hate my name. My family always called me Fuzz, and then when I got to uni that got turned into Faz, and that is now what I'm called most of the time. I don't mind it, but I do like people to know what my real name is. It's easy now to say. If you can say banana, you can say Fazana. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Cesari. I am a Support and Development Officer at Connected Voice. So my mum named me Sarah after her great-grandmother. The name Sarah is a Hebrew one meaning princess. My mum was aware that we may be moving to the west from Iran, so she tried to give me a name that was easier to pronounce than most other Iranian names. So usually my name gets mispronounced to Sarah or Zara. I've even been called Sahara. My surname is also often mispronounced. So my surname comes from the borough in Tehran that my family originates from, Chizar, so I'm a Chizari. During my graduation, my name was mispronounced so badly that I didn't realise it was my turn to go up. This was quite an embarrassing moment for me. I don't really like correcting people, and the more it goes on, the harder it is to correct and break people out of the habit. So when my name is pronounced properly and someone takes the time to learn it, this means the world to me because I feel included and my heritage feels accepted. Since the My Name Is campaign, I've felt more confident in correcting people, and I appreciate all my colleagues who have taken the time to say it properly. It really means a lot to me.
My name is Kamika, and often I've been called Kameka. And if individuals cannot pronounce my name, they call me Mika or Cam. I think it's important the organization gets the pronunciation of your name correctly. Hence, I believe #MyNameIs in spelling your name phonetically is a positive impact that this will have on loads of individuals, loads of leaders in organization, especially at first stages interview. And if you have your name spelled phonetically on your CV or on email chain communications, it will be so much easier to build that rapport with that person instead of starting from a mistake. Coming from an HR professional, it is very important to pronounce someone's name from the start of an interview, etc. So instead of embarrassing oneself and ask how you pronounce your name, if the phonetic spelling of your name is therein on your CV, it makes it so much different. For instance, my name phonetically is spelled K-A-M-E-K-A. or K-A-M-E-E-K-A with a emphasis on the E, so Kamika, and then put it together, Kamika. How simple and easy is that? This is just going to blow the world because it's so much easier to address people or individual with their identity, because it's important that we maintain our identity and our culture in the way that it was given to us. My name is Kamika.
Thank you to all of them for sharing their stories. I think it gives a kaleidoscope of how people are impacted by us getting their names wrong. There's a quote here. A person's name is the greatest connection to their own identity and individuality. Some might say it's the most important word in the world to that person. It's a sign of courtesy when someone remembers our name after meeting us. We feel respected and more important. These are the words of Joyce E.A. Russell, organizational psychologist and a leadership expert featured in Forbes and the Washington Post. I think it sums it up. And the wonderful Amma Frifachi, I spoke to her about a year ago, and it's something we've been sort of being aware of in time. So I've a lot to thank her for it. In a recent poll, it was 73% of respondents from 100 organizations said they had their names mispronounced. So I think today it was in the 70s as well. I'd just like to share 4 examples of names that people could tend to get wrong. So if we could just next slide. So if we could just all have a go, maybe writing it down on your own pad of paper phonetically, how would you say these names? So if you were going to meet these people or interview them, how would we pronounce their names? Basically, what tends to happen we pronounce someone's name incorrectly, and an individual is then often known by that new name. Or we give them a nickname, whether the individual chooses it or not, or the individual is given a surrogate name to make things easier for us. I know an Abdullah who is actually called Jeff. Or we simply just don't say their name, we avoid it. So what does this do to demonstrate the inclusive culture of our organizations? How does it make a colleague feel? Can they really bring their whole self to work? Next slide, please. So here's the correct phonetics for these individuals. So she's made a in April wrote an article and did an interview. So she's taken her name back. Her name is Tandy Way. I used to call her Tandy Newton. And then Bijal, often people say, but it's Bijul. And Patel, Amra Chi we saw earlier, and not Quinn. So I wonder how many of them four we'd get right. But there's a way to solve this. So what is My Name Is? It's a simple but highly impactful solution to ensure everyone throughout our organizations and beyond pronounce our names correctly. We'll achieve this by having our names phonetically spelt. Next slide, please. So, and here's some examples of people that are already using it on their email footers. You can also use it on other communication channels, and people are using it on social media as well. So imagine the difference it will make if when someone joins your organization, they're asked how their names are pronounced phonetically. So from day one, they can be who they really are. You'll have inclusion from the outset. How many of our organizations are doing this? Yeah, I've just come across 2 organizations that do it, but let's make this got mainstream. This is also not exclusively for those within your organizations. It can be used when you meet clients, supply chain representatives, or when you host a meeting with external stakeholders. Hearing one of the people speaking I think it's Fazana, about in school, can we take it to our schools and change the registers so we get kids' names right at the beginning and they're not sniggered at? So our goal, so we've seen the importance and the fantastic increase in the number of people including their pronouns, he, him, she, her, etc. And we want the same for My Name Is. So our goal is to get 1,000 organizations involved. And this is a rally cry for your organization to be one of the first 100 trailblazing organizations to implement My Name Is between now and Race Equality Week. So there's plenty of notice there. What I'd like us to do, if we just give us all 10, 15 seconds, if we just go into chat and just have a go at putting our phonetic names down. I'd say there's a third of names there I would have got wrong initially. So even just seeing the phonetics there makes a real difference to us. So thank you for all of those that are doing that. Brilliant. Okay, so to show your organization as part of the change, if you can go to the next slide, we're offering those that are going to commit to do it, this banner, My Name Is proud to be part of the change. So your organization can have this on footers or in any other comms. So we will get to see visibly organizations that are involved in this campaign. It's a real chance to shine a light on it. And then also for individuals, you can have access to the social media icon, and all you have to do is superimpose your photo in there. So we provide all this. So there's a link in the website, and we'll send it, sorry, in the chat, and we'll send it after. Basically, there's a guide explaining the importance of My Name Is, access to the videos, and then also where you can pledge that you're going to do it. And remember, it's action, not words. So we don't just to pledge and not do it, you have to do it. We've already got a number of organizations have pledged and are now have gone phonetic in their organizations, which is brilliant. So what we'd like to do is go into a collaboration group actually to talk about My Name Is. In our group, a couple of people said that they would maybe use tea break to introduce the concept of My Name Is. And I know some organizations are planning to do that already. So it's a really good way. So a bit like that composite video we shared with you earlier, it's a chance for you to hear from your colleagues how they think and feel. It might make the adoption of it and the barriers of people adopting it, more welcoming to understanding why we're going down this route. So thank you very much for that. What we like to do is we've spoken to a few organizations, if you go to the next slide, who thought they just wanted a few quick prompts of how to get ready for Race Equality Week. So hopefully, you know, you're all fully planned and just twiddling your thumbs waiting for it to happen. That's never happened. So basically it's identify, you know, Race Equality Week lead or leads, because sometimes people have like a task and finish group for it, etc. Engage senior leaders. I think you saw in the video the difference it made when senior leaders bought into it, and I think it might be hopefully even more successful getting more senior leaders involved this year. I said we talked about create a task and finish group, so it shouldn't just be on one person or the race network lead, etc. Identifying activity or activities that you're going to run, whether it's safe space, tea break, big my name is, or something else that your organization has been looking to do for quite a while. Get ready to communicate. So you all have your own communication channels. So you know, whether it's Yammer, your emails, etc. Posters within your organizations, and then delivery activities during Race Equality Week. But do let us know your plans, because we can then sort of champion this, and then let us know how it goes, because we're trying to learn from these. And I don't know if you remember, so tea break at Race Equality Week last year, Network Rail Culture Fusion told us about it. There was an audience like yourselves that thought it was a great idea, and then we've created it as a solution with them and other people with lived experience. So we like to hear new ideas that are making a difference. So hopefully that's helpful. Thank you for that. So what we'd like to do is go into another breakout thing, and then we do a Q&A. So this breakout is actually just share what your organization is thinking about doing for Race Equality Week, because you know there's a whole plethora of ideas out there. So it's just a chance for us to go into little groups. So we'll do it for sort of 5 or 6 minutes, share ideas of things that you might be thinking to do Race Equality Week, or even share what you might have done last year that you thought would be quite useful to share with other people. Brilliant, great, thank you for that. So hopefully that was helpful for some people. And just to say, I think a lot of people may be new to this or a bit nervous, what can I do? I think it's actually the solutions that we're showing are being co-created by those with lived experience, and you know 30, 40 people. So that's the easy option, you know, well actually let's look at one of these things. And I know people liked some of the angles. And if you go onto our website, you'll find more information and videos on the other ones we didn't talk about. The other thing is you can link up with other organizations in your community or sector or locations if that's helpful. But it's just to have a go to keep this energy and momentum going. So thank you for that. Brilliant. Okay, so we can end the poll. We share the results with you after. I think what was interesting, 91% said they're so 85%, sorry, are going to take part in Race Equality Week, which is great. With only a third had done at the that joined the event, and we'll share some of the poll results with you after. I'm just conscious to get on with the Q&A if that's okay. So so someone asked, sorry, beg your pardon. Lauren asked, any tips about how to get phonetic spellings right? I tried in Google for ideas and it wasn't helpful. Yeah, we tried many ways in Google. Now, there is the IPA, which is International Phonetic Alphabet, but we got quite a bit of feedback from some people. They found that quite difficult to read for some people. So we haven't kind of quite gone down that way. What we've got in the guide that we provide for it is the opportunity to write it down phonetically, and then share with 2 or 3 colleagues and see what they say if they get it right. So maybe if they know it, that's fine. And other times you might just need to adapt it. So I've changed mine sort of 2 or 3 times to get them. The other thing is what some people are doing is writing sounds like. So in mine, I'd put ja as in Japan, ved rhymes with head. So you know that again, hopefully that'll help people get more access to it. So I have noticed H's are used quite a lot. I think that helps clean helps emphasize the word we're doing. So it's just a bit of testing and trial and error, and we get that. We do know some people you can put, like on LinkedIn, you can verbalize your name, which is brilliant. However, you know, if you've got a meeting and then you know you're given a list of names, you know, you won't be able to always access that. So hence, if someone's phonetically spelled it for you, or the person, then that makes it a lot easier. So if I've got, and I do apologize if I'm getting these names right, so wrong, because they're not phonetic. Angelina, I'm interested in partnering with some of the events proposed by Race Equality Matters in the beginning of the session. How can we best put into practice? So for all our things, solutions, we do have how to do it right guides, and there are how to do it workshops that we've run, and there will be some in the new year, but you can access all that online. And then there's also a 5-minute, I call it info video, which explains what it is, which is really useful if you need to give it to your race network, your D&I leads, or even senior management to get it across there. But the how to do it right guide has been pulled together by, I said, those with lived experience, and it explains why each step's important. Step one quite often involves psychological safety, to make sure you keep your colleagues safe. And then step 1 and 2, so step 2 and 3 is typically get senior leaders involvement, because without that, it does hold things back. So I've got another one here. Lauren said she's doing a joint session with LGBT group on intersectionality. We understand a lot of organizations might be doing a tea break with intersectionality, so that's a great idea. And it is something that's very, very important, and by default everything is intersectional. So I think that even though it's, let's call it race, there are other ways to include different characteristics. Any other questions on there? So I've got some nice words there. If anyone wants to type any other questions, or has Claire or Nish seen anything early on? Okay. As I said, after this, we will provide you with links to all the videos so you can access them, and everything else. And then obviously there's we'll provide you with links to the guild, where again you can keep these conversations going, especially the Tea Break Guild, and there is a Race Network Leaders Guild. So for I think it's very important we keep communities going, because quite often many of you work in isolation, and again it's getting that sort of moral and insightful support from others